Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In today's episode, the Emergency Management Division is hosting an expo to prepare the community for hurricane season. And the Orange Avenue Bridge in Daytona Beach is getting a total makeover. Plus, Joanne Magley talks with Circuit Court Judge Joseph G. Will. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. The Florida Department of Health has confirmed Volusia County has 2 travel-related cases of the Zeka virus. This mosquito-borne virus is similar to those that cause dengue and West Nile virus infection, with symptoms lasting 5 to 7 days.
Well, Zika virus is a new virus that's making its way to the Americas, the United States. It could potentially be transmitted by 2 mosquitoes that we're eminently familiar with, Aedes albopictus and Aedes aegypti, both of which are only produced in containers, artificial containers like tires, buckets, upright wheelbarrows, and also natural containers, bromeliads and tree holes.
While these cases are cause for concern, it is important to note that these are travel-related cases, meaning the disease was contracted outside of the United States. In addition, Volusia County has a robust mosquito control program that works year-round to keep mosquitoes at bay.
Well, our mosquito control program was developed almost 80 years ago, specifically to combat the mosquitoes that come off of the salt marsh. These days, however, we're dealing with all of the mosquitoes that are produced in the county, and that involves also those mosquitoes that are produced in people's backyards, front yards, side yards, those containers. So a large portion of our program is a domestic inspection program that is focused on specifically those mosquitoes produced in people's containers.
To keep the mosquito population from growing, we also need your help.
What residents can do is exactly what we do, only do it on a weekly basis. It's impossible for us to inspect every home and contend with every container in every home in the district and the county. So we ask residents to go out at least once a week between mid-May, late May, and mid-October, late October. That's our season. That's our container season. If they'll just go out once a week and tip over any containers that may hold rainwater, if they're putting water in a container on purpose, a bird bath, if they'll just tip that out or flush it out once a week, that will take care of any mosquito production that might result.
It's important we all go beyond the traditional spring cleaning of attics, closets, and garages. As we approach the summer months, look around the yard to do a little spring mosquito cleaning. Visit volusia.org/mosquito and check out a link on the top left corner that will show you how to find mosquito larvae and pupae in your outdoor containers. Fewer containers equal fewer mosquitoes, and that's good news for all of us. With years of relatively quiet hurricane seasons, it's important to keep it in mind that it only takes one storm to change your life and community.
So with the El Nino that we've benefited from the last couple of years that has kept the hurricanes at bay, the El Nino is going away, so we're going to be going into a La Nina pattern. La Nina means that we'll probably have a forecast for greater than average hurricane season. So ever more reason to be prepared, and it only takes one. You know, we always say it only takes one.
To help you be prepared, Volusia County's Emergency Management Division is sponsoring a free Hurricane Expo from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Saturday, May 21st at Lowe's Home Improvement Store at 901 Saxon Boulevard in Orange City. Activities at the free Hurricane Expo include children's fingerprinting by VCSO, special needs registration, emergency alert sign-up, displays of emergency and preparedness products, weather radio raffle, and other prizes. Workshops on preparedness, map your neighborhood activity, and free hot dogs. Agencies also will provide information about personal and family preparedness and caring for animals during a disaster. A National Weather Service warning coordinator, meteorologist, also will be on site to offer tips and answer questions.
With hurricane season only a few weeks away, it's a great time to come out under blue skies to take those preparedness efforts and get ready for the upcoming hurricane season.
The Hurricane Expo takes place Saturday, May 21st at the Orange City Lowe's from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. For more information, you can visit volusia.org/emergency. After years of planning and public meetings to garner community input, Volusia County is set to begin construction on June 6th of the new Tom Stead Veterans Memorial Bridge, commonly known as the Orange Avenue Bridge in Daytona Beach. The new high-level, multi-arch concrete bridge will replace the existing drawbridge, which is more than 60 years old. Design elements of the new two-lane bridge include handicap accessibility, 8-foot sidewalks, fishing piers on both sides of the Halifax River, and plaques at 28 scenic overlooks commemorating conflicts in America's military history. The plaques will include descriptions of conflicts and outcomes, the number of killed, wounded, and missing in action, a QR code linked to additional data, and a braille plate with information. Beginning June 6th, motorists heading to and from beachside in this area should use the International Speedway Boulevard US 92 bridge as an alternate route. Construction of the new bridge requires the closure of Orange and Silver Beach avenues, including the bridge from Peninsula Drive to immediately east of the traffic signal at City Island Parkway for the 32-month-long project. The Daytona Beach Chamber of Commerce and Convention and Visitors Bureau building, Volusia County Courthouse Annex, Jackie Robinson Ballpark, and all other facilities on City Island will remain accessible throughout the project. For more information and to view construction progress photos, you can visit veteransmemorialbridge.com. Daytona Beach International Airport is teaming up with the Daytona Tortugas to give baseball fans a special New York City night at the ballpark. May 21st is New York night at the Jackie Robinson Ballpark when the Daytona Tortugas play the St. Lucie Mets. Fans have a chance to win a trip to New York, which includes 2 round-trip tickets on JetBlue, which began nonstop service to New York's JFK Airport from Daytona Beach International Airport in January of this year. Jay Cassens, Business Development Director at Daytona Beach International Airport, says the New York night at the ballpark is just one way the airport is reaching out to residents about the benefits of flying out of our local airport.
The airport staff and the county staff will be there that night. JetBlue is actually going to be throwing out the first pitch. The airport's going to have a stand, and we're going to be interacting with the public and be giving away some airport items.
Fans who attend the May 21st game should stop by the Daytona Beach International Airport table on the boardwalk area just outside the stadium to register to win the New York trip. The winner will be chosen randomly and announced during the 7th inning stretch.
Team 1, Team 2, let's go.
Are you ready for a career in criminal justice?
A career that's challenging.
A career with great growth opportunity.
If you're interested in a tremendous career opportunity with the Volusia County Division of Corrections, apply online now and become a member of our dynamic team.
Have you got a sweet tooth and you can't get enough chocolate? We go behind the scenes at a couple candy makers that create their confections right here in Volusia County.
Volusia County is the home to beautiful parks, world-class art, and miles of beautiful beaches, but it is also covered in chocolate. Angel and Phelps Chocolate Factory in Daytona Beach and Pat and Tony's Chocolates and Sweet Things in downtown DeLand both offer delicious, freshly made chocolate treats.
It's just our peanut butter fudge rolled up in a ball and dipped in milk chocolate, so you'd probably like that as well.
Pat and Tony's Chocolates and Sweet Things have been in business for 7 years, offering retro candies and other sweets, and have made a name for itself with its chocolates.
Our chocolate is of Belgian quality, And we make 98% of all the chocolate in the case, and we make all of our fudge here. So it really is a very hands-on operation.
Most of the time when you're getting a candy bar and stuff, you're buying off the shelf or something, you're getting a chocolate that's mixed with a lot of wax in it. So our particular chocolate's a higher end chocolate, so the cocoa count is higher, there's no wax in some of it, and the quality is just better, just a smoother chocolate. I use a very good quality chocolate. Most of it is a Belgium chocolate, most of it is Belgium.
The west side of the county isn't the only place to find fresh treats. Angel and Phelps of Daytona Beach still holds on to their time-tested virtues of homemade quality chocolates, having been in business since 1925.
What makes us unique is that people can come in and buy and pick out their own kind, especially dark chocolates that some people can't get in other places, they can get here. Some of our most popular items, though, is the chocolate molded items that we make, all kinds of unique shapes, especially when they say Daytona Beach, handwritten on the particular mold.
Yeah, we have our coconut haystacks, our nuts, the champagne truffles, our big whites, something for everyone. There's something that can appeal to everyone.
Both chocolate shops offer unique treats, including chocolate-covered potato chips, chocolate-covered Twinkies, and even chocolate truffles with lavender and hibiscus.
Well, the lavender truffle we make with fresh lavender leaves. I do make them. We just made another one with hibiscus, which was different, good. You know, it's not for everybody, but there are certainly many people who really do enjoy it. It doesn't last long once I make it. And like I said, you know, seasonal items, we'll make a pumpkin truffle during Thanksgiving. We'll make a peppermint candy, you know, truffle during the holidays for Christmas and stuff. And I'm sure we'll have some kind of cinnamon for Valentine's Day. Yeah, we try to make different things.
No matter the occasion or time of year, any event can be made better with a touch of chocolate. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Shelley Safranek.
Today on Solutions for Your Life, Jill Toffer looks at the healthy benefits of adding quinoa to your diet and some ways you can prepare this superfood.
Hi, and welcome to Solutions for Your Life. My name is Jill Toffer, registered dietitian and University of Florida Extension agent here in Volusia County. Today we're going to talk nutrition, and our featured food is quinoa. Now, quinoa is a whole grain, and if you look carefully at it, you'll actually see it's a seed. It's very nutritious, and it comes to us from the Andes Mountains from South America. It actually was a staple food of the ancient Incas. What you need to know about quinoa and why it's so special is it's packed with nutrition. You've got a lot of B vitamins here, magnesium, manganese, iron, folic acid, and a very high fiber content, so that's heart healthy. But what really makes quinoa special is its protein profile. It's a complete protein, which means it has all 9 amino acids for the building blocks of protein. Now, when you go to the store, you're going to see that there's different colors of quinoa. The most popular is this ivory, and you can also find it in red and black. You can get it at the whole grains aisle. You're also going to find it in the gluten-free aisle. What you want to look for when you purchase the quinoa is make sure it says that it's washed. And the quinoa we're going to cook today already says pre-washed on the package. If you buy it in bulk, it's not going to be pre-washed, and you're going to have to rinse it in cold water with a sieve or something small enough so that the little seeds don't fall through. It's because there's a coating around the seeds that are a little bit bitter, so make sure you pre-wash it if it doesn't indicate it on your package. Okay, so now we're ready to cook. We're going to prepare basic quinoa. So it's always 2 parts liquid to 1 part quinoa. So 2 cups of water, and then we're going to use our pre-washed quinoa, and we're going to use a cup. Very easy. Now, quinoa has quite a plain flavor, a little bit nutty. It's got a nice texture, but you're going to want to find what seasonings work for you, because you're going to want to jazz it up. If you've never had quinoa before, think of it like rice. You're going to use it as a side in soups. It's used a lot in salads. So whatever works for you as far as flavor. 2 cups of chicken broth works really well when you're cooking to kind of pump up the flavor. So I'm going to turn this on high because we want this to fully boil. Once it's boiling, we're going to turn it down to simmer. We're going to cover, and you just wait 15 minutes on simmer, and you're going to have a nice, light, fluffy texture. The germ actually cracks, and it's going to absorb the liquid fully, so you can tell it's done. So here's our finished product. The quinoa's absorbed all the liquid, and it's ready for your favorite meal, whether it's hot at breakfast, a side dish for lunch, in a salad with your favorite vinaigrette, or in soups. Again, find your favorite seasonings, vegetables, or legumes. Try it with quinoa. I think you'll enjoy it. As we move away from highly processed foods with added fats, salt, and sugar, this makes a great nutritious addition for your family. If you need further information, please contact us with the information at the bottom of your screen. With Solutions for Your Life, I am Jill Toffer.
It's time to head into the studio and join the Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest, 7th Judicial Circuit Judge Joseph G. Will.
On May 24th, a very special graduation ceremony will take place at Athens Theater in DeLand. These won't be high school or college students, but adults who have undergone months of rigorous effort to break their drug habit. Our guest in the studio today is Circuit Court Judge Joe Will, one of the judges who presides over drug court programs in Volusia County. Hi, Judge.
Hi, how are you today?
Good, thanks for being here. So give us some general information about drug court. What is drug court all about?
Drug court's a program that's designed to take people out of the ages-old punishment system and put them into a treatment system instead. To take people who are brought into the criminal justice system because of some sort of issues with substances and provide treatment. It's been something that's been on the minds of people for decades and decades, but no one really had a mechanism to use. And until about 25 years or so ago, when in Miami they started the first drug court, and then Volusia County followed quickly thereafter. The whole design is to quit expending all these huge amounts of money on punishment and isolation of people, and use the treatment model instead to save money and to save lives and souls and families and communities, really.
So basically, when somebody comes into the program, I'm sure if they meet certain criteria, you're treating the actual substance abuse, which will then lead them to hopefully a life of where they get their life back on track.
Very much so. We try to identify people who are at high risk for reoffending and have high needs. We try not to take people who are just weekend pot smokers or weekend drinkers. We try to get the more severely affected people within the system. And those people are injected into a program that lasts on average about 15 months or so. We have some people that get out a little quicker and some people that stay as long as 3 years until it really works out for them. But instead of putting them into the standard probation model, we have a model where people are provided with group counseling, individual counseling, regular court appearances. They have the supervision of a probation officer. They have the guidance of a state attorney and a public defender while they're going through the program. And the whole thing is designed to help people find a new way of living, to find out what it is that made you be an addict while the person sitting next to you may be able to go out on the weekends and have a few beers and not have a problem with it. What is it that makes you be so different? And we try to get to the core of that and help people make a change so that they don't come back in the system.
So how much of a factor is drug abuse as it relates to crimes?
It's a huge, huge factor. There are statistics, and I'm only going to get close on these. I may miss it by a few percentage points, but my last research showed that about 80% of the people who are currently serving time in our jails or prisons were impacted at the time of the crime by some sort of substance, either drunk or high on some sort of other substances. We have so many now. 80% of the people, though, is an awful large part of the population that we have in prisons. We have over 100,000 people in prisons in Florida today, and that tells us 80,000 people are incarcerated into cages, living in cages, not having any kind of meaningful treatment or anything in their lives that would make a difference for them. And we're returning those folks back to the streets, usually in much worse shape than they were in when we sent them to prison. Much more likely to reoffend. In fact, the average person who returns to us from a jail or prison is very likely to recidivate, that is, to commit another crime and end up back in incarceration within 3 years. The number is 2/3 of the people released from jails or prisons go back within 3 years.
So you've been on the bench for a number of years. Have you seen the drug abuse problem in our area stay the same, or has it increased? What are your thoughts on that?
It's a little bit like looking at an octopus. If you ever watched one in the water, the way that they can change colors. They stay the same size, but they change colors.
Okay.
And during my tenure, I would say that we've had real serious changes in the drugs of choice for our participants and for the people in our community. When I first started, cocaine and specifically crack cocaine were all the buzz, and then that was pretty much a wave sweeping over the community. But for the last 7 or 8 years, roughly, our problem has been prescription drugs, prescription opiates that are really impacting people in a terrible way, terrible way.
Somebody who is a drug abuser, it impacts their family, it impacts their friends, it impacts a lot more people around them than just that individual.
Oh, the ramifications are tremendous. When you think about families that are under stress, and we all know families under stress, again, you'll almost always find substances involved in that stress in some way. And look at the services that we usually provide as a governmental entity. You know, we take children and place them in shelters and separate the families. Mom and dad are not in a position usually to work, sometimes not even to be together anymore. As the families separate, they're much less likely to be able to afford a lifestyle even similar to what they had before. And everything starts to tumble from there. The children don't do well in school. Very often they follow in their parents' footsteps with the same kinds of problems. The benefits that the government ends up providing to families that are under the stress of drugs are just unbelievable. When you see the numbers on what it costs per year to support a family when the state is trying to do it, it's really a frightening figure, and it's something that we can really avoid. But it's the emotional impact that really takes its toll. The damage that you see to the people that are involved is just terrible. Substance abuse just pulls families apart, and it pulls them apart sometimes irreparably, or seemingly so. We've had a pretty good success rate, though, of working with people under these circumstances because we're focused on that as a treatment entity. Something that's important, too, is that it costs much less to do this program than it does to incarcerate people. 1/5 or 1/6 of the cost goes into what we do to improve people's lives rather than to punish the people. That's a huge savings because we spend probably on average more than $30,000 a year to incarcerate someone, much less than that, maybe 1/5 of that to complete a year of drug court.
Yeah, savings and really a better outcome. So let's get to the results of the drug court. Tell us about the success of this most recent program that will be coming up for graduation.
This is the first drug court that we started in this county was our Volusia County Adult Drug Court Program. And right now we have about 248 people in the program. It's grown very well. We operate it on both sides of the county. It's available for people who are duly diagnosed, that is with mental health issues and substance abuse issues. It's open to men, to women, to everybody in the community. And we've been running the program since about 1997. We have approximately, just again, approximately 1,000 graduates who are active in the community right now, wow. 70% of whom have not been rearrested, which is an astounding figure and takes the other figure and stands it on its ear. But our celebration that we're going to have on May 24th will be a graduation for about 20 people who are just right now successfully completing the program. And we'll be at the Athens Theater, and it's something that everybody should see once in their life to see how impressive it is when someone is able to turn their life around. So
I would imagine that when it comes the actual day for graduating, that it's actually pretty emotional for all parties involved.
It's very exciting. It's what refurbishes me to make me want to keep coming back. I've been doing this a long time, like 12 or 13 years now, and what brings me back is really the graduations. To have that feeling of seeing somebody who's now employed, clean, back re-engaged with their family and the community and ready to just walk out and take the world by storm, and actually not just ready but prepared to do it so that we know that they're going to be successful 70% of the time. That is a real exciting thing, and people are pretty good about expressing themselves. We give our graduates a chance to speak as a part of the ceremony. It's very exciting, very emotional. I usually get a little weepy.
Yeah. So, Judge, you've been a guest on Volusia Magazine for quite a few years, and this is probably your last interview because you are retiring at the end of the year.
I am.
So, give us just a little glimpse as to maybe some of the most memorable moments of sitting on the bench.
Well, it's been very exciting. It's been a tremendous job to have and a real privilege to have been allowed to return this many times by the voters. It's been a great run, and I worked in all the divisions of the court at one time or another, and finally this was the one. The drug court, the mental health and substance abuse programs that we have, we call them problem-solving courts now. They're absolutely the most exciting. Most of my memorable moments have to do with people and not big events. You know, I had the case with Dale Earnhardt's autopsy photos, which was an exciting case because there was so much hullabaloo about that. It was so important to so many people, and so that made it exciting to preside over that case. But the greatest accomplishments that I feel like I've had are those moments that we were talking about a moment ago, when I see someone who came stumbling into a courtroom, knowing that the only thing that could possibly happen to them was going to be terrible. And to see that turned into something that's probably the best thing that will ever happen to them in their lives, there are a lot of really magic moments like that. It's become a real passion for me. That's the part of the work that I've actually enjoyed the most. It took me a while to find it,
right,
but it's been real rewarding, very rewarding.
All right, well, Judge Joe Will, thank you so much for being here, and have a happy retirement.
Well, thank you. I hope to.
All right, now back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.